Hi, this is Donna with the Waldorf Connection, and welcome to day 4, the final day of our rhythm challenge. So I hope that you've been following the other videos and training during the previous days. And just to recap where we have started and where we are in our challenge, the first day we really sort of did a rhythm brain dump of what are your troubles, what's keeping you stuck, what is kind of keeping you down as far as rhythm and your top issue. And then on day 2, we looked at imagining your perfect day and had you create a goal. What one thing do you want to fix or make work smoother while you're doing this challenge? One tiny thing or maybe a larger thing. What is your goal for this challenge? And you were tasked to kind of figure that out. And then yesterday on the third video, we talked about tools, and I gave you some tools on how to take that goal, that top trouble, that stuck spot, and start looking at it, sort of investigating why is it keeping you stuck, what is not working, and how to go about finding the solutions so that you can make things work better, you can make things more harmonious, and that you end up with a smoother, more relaxed day and not so stressed out. So that's basically what this is all about, right? To really bring you to a different place with your family, with the way you're showing up every day, so you don't feel exhausted, you don't feel like you're trying to play catch up, or that you're just falling behind farther and further. And when you start to feel those things as a mom, you respond differently. You are agitated, you're stressed, you're shorter fused, you might get angry quicker, and things are not the way you want them to be. And if you're stressed out and exhausted and frustrated, then it's more likely that you are adding to the fuel to the fire, because your days are not going well and things are not going the way you want, and you're getting mad and frustrated because it's not happening, and you're trying and you have no time to make it work, and it's sort of a vicious cycle. So during this rhythm challenge, we're taking a break, we're taking a breath, and we're taking a look at where you are and where you want to be. And I'm trying to, by picking one spot at one part of your day and have you look at it and start working toward that, I want you to see that by taking a few moments, by getting some education and accountability for making the changes, that it can have a really big impact. We so many times feel that we have no time to make the changes, right? We're so busy, there's no way I could stop to make the changes. But that just creates more problems and more stress. You have to take a few minutes, you have to step back, and it's a good investment of your time. It's a good investment of your energy to, okay, let's just fix this once and for all, so that you can move forward happier, more relaxed, and showing up as a better mom for your child or your children, because you're not so freaked out and overworked and frustrated and exhausted. So the benefits far outweigh the time and the energy that it takes to kind of redo your rhythm and to make the changes. Though I know it can seem like there's no way that you can make it make it happen. That's what I wanted to show you in this rhythm in just 4 days, and really it was 4 simple steps. You could make some serious impact on your stickiest top trouble of the day. So what I want to say here before we go into our final training is that the structure of a solid rhythm in your day creates freedom. And I know I got a lot of responses back from you guys saying that you wanted a rhythm that fit you and that didn't feel confined, and that you didn't want to have, this rigorous rituals and routine that you had to follow. And I feel that. And I don't feel that a Waldorf-inspired rhythm really is that. It's not like, you've taken out your calendar and you've scheduled out every 15 minutes of your day, with your planner and all of that. It's not about that. It's about putting in the pieces that you need to make sure you get done during the day, to get things organized and flowing in an in and out breath harmonious way, so that it flows and you sort of have this, remember from my first video, the tide down at the beach, the ebbing and the flowing, the in and the out breath, which makes your day flow and feel balanced rather than go, 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 or sitting around, sitting around, sitting around. You've got to have that in between. And by having this structure, it becomes your foundation. It becomes the foundation of your day and basically of your life. I mean, let's be honest, whether you're homeschooling or you have young children and you just are trying to create this Waldorf environment, you need some kind of structure. Or as you can see, if you don't, it doesn't take long for you to figure out that you really just are flying by the seat of your pants and things get really wanky and really stressed really fast. Because every day is something different. You're recreating something every single moment. You have no idea what's coming next, and that's exhausting. But by creating a solid structure, a framework in which to build and add other things to, it takes away all of the guesswork. It takes away all of the energy. What are we going to have to eat? What are we going to do next? And you do it once and you sort of say, okay, now I've got it in place. It doesn't mean that you're strapped into this horrible, routine that you have to follow and you have to stay on schedule or whatever. It's not like that. It's a support for you. It's a framework for you. Just as in any good construction, the foundation holds up the rest of the house and holds up the beautiful rooms and the things that we can add and decorate and do inside. That's how a rhythm works for you. It creates the structure that gives you the freedom to do the fun things that you want to do with your kids, to bake and to paint and to go to the park and to go to the library, and know that you have the time and the freedom for that because everything else is set. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense and explains the structure creates freedom. Something else is, as we go along here, you may have at the beginning of this challenge felt like, oh my gosh, I can't make this work. I don't know what to do. And as we kind of broke things down, you realized it really wasn't as hard as what I thought. You were able to make some changes, and even if you haven't had time to kind of implement them, you can see where you can just, with a short period of time, you can really make the difference. And by getting the education of, okay, what do I do? How do I do it? And then having someone, and in this case, it's our challenge, this 4-day challenge, it's a structure that you have to follow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each day you were coming and getting the education and the tools from me, and I was walking you through the next step because we kind of have an idea what we need to do, but we need the accountability. We need someone to say, okay, at this time you are going to make it and do it, and this is the time for you to actually take the action, because we're so busy we put things off and we, oh, I'll do that later or whatever, and it's when we have to actually get things done that we do it. It's just human nature, and we're busy moms. But having the accountability and keeping you set and like, okay, you have to do this, really keeps you on track and will have you get the results rather than just kind of, okay, I'll get back to that later, and then you never do. And what you wanted is the results, because you know that if you don't make these changes and you continue down the same path, you're going to just continue getting the same things that you have been getting, and it's the results that you really don't want. So let me walk through some other steps, and I will be going through a lot more of this in our upcoming Rhythm Strategy Day, which will be next week, and you'll be getting more information on that really soon, because though we have made some impact and we have created solutions for your one problem, there's a lot more that's built into this structure of your day, and a lot more that goes into the framework that we can't cover on these short videos. I know a lot of you have been begging and asking for this program because it is the number one thing that plagues us as moms. It's the one going thing that's constantly having to evolve and move and change with us as we grow and our children grow and things change in our day. So take a look for that. It'll be coming up soon. As I walk my clients through creating their rhythm, whether it's in a one-on-one private session with me or in my classes or in my ebook, these are the steps that I take them through, because I feel that creating an ideal rhythm that fits you is not about just, okay, let's mark down what you need to do throughout the day, because a lot of us don't know and haven't taken the time to realize what is important to us. So the first thing I start with is family values and what is really important to you. What do you want to bring to your children? What do you want to do as a family? What's important that you make sure you get into your day? Because the fires will always come up and you will always have things to do. But you may look 2 years down the road and say, oh my gosh, we never got around to camping, or we never got around to family dinners, or we never did family game night, or we never just did those art projects and craft projects I wanted to do, or we never started knitting. Whatever it is, if you don't put it into the schedule, then you won't get it. And I think having some time to really look and see what's important to you. You know, what do you value? What are you trying to bring to your children? You know, is it honesty, integrity, you know, living an eco-friendly life? You know, what is really important? So taking that time to say, hey, you know, what is important to me, and what do I want my children to have in their lifetime? What am I trying to help guide them with and guide them through, and these qualities? So family values is a big place to start, because if you don't know what you need to put into your day, then it'll never get in there. So we go through that, and we will go through that in our Rhythm Strategy Day. Also, we talk about simplifying, and I know a lot of you do try to simplify and kind of live the simple life, but there's always more paring down, and there's always more clutter, and there's always more things that are coming into our life, whether it's toys or paperwork or clothes or books, or I don't know, it's just an endless stream of stuff that comes in. So I walk you through how to help simplify not only your home and environment, but your routine and your life. Maybe there are areas that need to be pruned back. You're trying to do too many things, and we only have so many hours in the day. And by highlighting the things that are important to you, the family values, you may have to let go of some of those things that you have committed to do or have in your schedule that just, you know, when you really look at it, do we really need to do this? There may be some things you can let go to free up some more time to do those things that you do want to do. And then we talk about your pillars. To me, this is like the concrete of your foundation. It is the beams that hold, you know, the whole foundation up. It's those big pylons and those big structural beams that go on the foundation. It is the things in your day that you have to do, that, you know, we have to do on a daily basis. So preparing meals, you know, if you have young children, nursing or changing diapers, giving baths, errands. If you work from home or out of the home or have your own business, then there's maybe business or work time that has to be done. There's nap time if you have younger children. Maybe there's homeschool lessons if you have school-age children. So whatever those things are that you know that you're going to have to do on a daily or weekly basis, perhaps it's sports, classes, kinder music or music lessons or some other kind of thing that you go to on a weekly basis, maybe library, story time, or that kind of a thing. Things that you know you have to put into your schedule. Once we get those things placed into your map, then you can see sort of, again, this bird's eye view, and we're going to go through this in detail in our Rhythm Strategy Day. We're going to map out, and you're going to see, you know, from a bird's eye view, wow, I don't have as much time as I thought, or I have more time than I thought, you know, but knowing where you are, having that awareness makes a big difference. And then once you've got your pillars set, it's sort of this, I don't want to say set and forget it, because things do evolve, but you've got your basics in place. And then you can say, great, I know I have this time window frame here, I've got some time in the morning, I've got the times in the evenings, and that is when you can plug in those things that you really want to get to, whether it's just time alone with your spouse, whether it's time for you to read or do yoga, or spend time with your child painting, singing, drawing, you know, dancing, taking walks, whatever it might be. That's sort of your icing on your cake. You know, that's the part, that's the fun stuff, and that's what we really thrive on. So we want to make sure that we get those things in. By setting your pillars, you will know how much icing time you have, and otherwise you have too much icing or too many pillars, and it gets all jumbled, and you end up with not getting anything done that you really want to get done, and missing out on all the fun. Also a meal plan. That's another big piece. Meal prep, I mean, let's face it, ladies, we are just in the kitchen most of the day, right? By the time breakfast is over and you've cleaned the dishes, it's time for snack, and it's time for lunch, and then it's dinner, and it's meals, meals, meals. And that is a big chunk of our time in our lives. So having a set meal plan, and I don't mean some crazy thing that you could never follow, but I show you a way to do it in an easy, simplified way. You don't have to reinvent the wheel and, you know, and have 365 different meals every year. I've got a great formula and a template for all of that, and you'll get that if you decide to join me in our Rhythm Strategy Day. So meal planning, a big piece that could really take up a lot of time and frustration, but if you, again, have it set and have it worked into your rhythm, it frees you up. It gives you the freedom. Again, more time to play, less time cooking, unless you really enjoy that type of thing. For me, I'd rather just get on with it and do something else. And then the main thing is mapping it out, putting that all together, making it work. How do we take all these pieces of that we've been talking about here, the pillars and the family values and simplifying and the meal plan, and don't forget your self-care and your inner work and grounding yourself and a little time to yourself, and kind of put all of that into a plan that fits you and that you can stick to. Because it may look great on paper, but when you come down to it, there's no way that you're going to make it work. And I'll tell you a quick story. You may have heard me say this before. When I first discovered I needed rhythm, I was like, great! And I got this big paper out and I literally started writing 7:15, take a shower. 7:30, get dressed. 7:45, make dinner. I mean, I went through the entire day in 15-minute increments, and I was so happy and proud. It was like, yes, my rhythm is done, and it's not that hard. And then I decided to try it out the next day, and I think, I might have got to like 10 o'clock and I thought, oh my gosh, there is no way I could ever follow this without totally losing my mind. And I'm, sort of a recovering type A personality anyway, and if I couldn't follow it, I don't know how anybody could do something like that. So we don't want it to just look good on paper. I want you to live it. I want you to feel it, and I want you to get the benefits of having a solid rhythm that's harmonious, that gives you the freedom by giving you the structure, and that lets you relax, that lets you enjoy your days and have fun with your children without feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get all this done. I feel guilty because I don't have things going the way I want, and I'm grumpy and frustrated and angry with my children, and it has nothing. So go ahead and comment on your results if you've had time to implement some of the solutions that we talked about in yesterday's video, the solutions to your top problem. And then think about what I'm saying here about actually taking a few moments, a few hours of one day to create something that you'll use for the following weeks and months and maybe even years. We still have somewhat the same, I mean, things have evolved as my kids have grown, but the same basics to our day that I put together when the girls were 4 years old and they're 12. So that's 8 years of basically the same structure and the same pillars to our day. And if I hadn't done that, I don't know where I would be. For one, I certainly couldn't have worked and kept a business running and a homeschool and everything else without losing my mind. But I had it set, and it's evolved, but it's still there. It's still there for me. It's still my structure. It's still my pillars. It's still the framework that I use for every day. So, is it worth it for you to just take a few moments, to take a few hours to get things going so that it'll make such a difference in your life? All right, take a look and keep your eyes open for the next information video about the Rhythm Strategy Day. It is going to be a limited class of only 25 moms because I want to give intimate coaching and help. So if you think this is what you want to do and you want to go forward with me, keep your eyes peeled and jump on in right away, because I think that the class is going to fill up really fast. All right, until next time, see you later.